Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to game number 2 of this series. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Division A qualifiers between these two teams. Spawning here in the bottom right for Insanity Without Limits, it will be Executor, who took game number 1, pretty convincingly, had a pretty strong build order in general, and was pretty awesome about it. And his opponent will be the Blue Zerg, who apparently changed their race. It'll be Team mSj Specter. And, I'll be interested, that might, Specter, maybe random, maybe race picking. I'm going to guess random, but maybe that's the reason why he wanted to go DTs, because, I'm not going to count out, random players as, like, being macro players, but typically speaking, a lot of random players, tend to be aggressive and, very kind of cheesy, and, a part of that is, one, like, a build order, for example, if he hits random, right, and he hits Zerg, how do you know a 4 pool is coming? How do you know a 9 pool is coming? You don't know. So you kind of, as the person, you don't know who the race that you're playing as, how do you defend well? And that's why a lot of players don't like playing randomers. It's a lot of the time, again, I'll take this from StarCraft too, but what I've come to know about random, a lot of people I know in the StarCraft 2 community, what they oftentimes do is, well, I'm guessing he must know it's a Zerg. Well, because for one, he's Forge Fast Expanding, which that is like the only thing you can really do right now. Is you can only safely assume he switched to Zerg. I don't know why he did, but still getting to the point here. Random players, they have this timing where they're like, the opponent's like, well, great, what am I gonna have inbound? Do I have to look out for a proxy pylon? Do I have to look out for proxy barracks? Do I have to, worry about a marine SCV all in? It's very difficult to know. So all you can really do is very safe openers against random. It's kind of hard to do your own proxy 2 gate against them, unless that's what you like to do. Now, I don't know what this drone's trying to do. Oh, he's gonna try to block this Nexus. Okay. It's much easier to stop a drone from building on a hatchery than putting down a Nexus for Protoss, but worthy attempt. Worthy attempt. Well, apparently ProSkid has left the game. I have no idea why he did. And I also hope this is actually going to be a complete series of epic proportion, because, well, for one, I actually don't know if this is actually going to be a complete series or not, as I'm actually casting these games as live as possible. Everything you're seeing for the first time, I'm seeing for the first time, so I really have no possible idea. And one thing that this add-on could have done, instead of making the circle around Blue's buildings white, make them... Actually, when I take that back, maybe that's what the Specter is doing. I was gonna say, it'd be kind of silly not to have, like, that ring around, like a purple ring. No, I guess it is. I guess it just must be, whoever's... Yeah, I guess it just must be white around whatever the unit selected is, then. Okay, alright, so we have 3 hatches off of 2 base, so it looks like 3 hatch Hydra, or... No, I'm taking that back. 3 hatch Mutalisks. It's just like a timing window where Protoss doesn't really have too much. Now Mutalisks, again, like, going back to the random fact, 3 hatch Mutalisk is cheesy. It's all in. There's really no way to transition out of it except for Greater Spire, but the problem is off of 2 base, you're not gonna have enough gas income to really supplement enough. The thing, the longer I'm looking at this, though, the more I'm questioning it. He's yet to get his layer up, which at this point is actually getting a little later than you'd think for 3 hatch Mutalisks, which I can only assume, Hydra now. This is way too late to get a layer, in my opinion. Now let's see here. Let's see if I can actually do this. Pajam! Check it out. I did it with my mouse. Now just give me a second. I have this set up. There to Specter is gonna be... Damn it. Alright. Alright, cool, we got it right. Now... We have... Oh, excuse me. 23 drones. 23 probes actually. So Zerg's actually not too far far behind in the economy, but it's definitely a 3S speed list right now. There's really no other way to determine that right now. He's been joining it pretty hard. I feel like he's gonna be in a good position right now. I feel like he's gonna have enough gas to do. He needs to get the second geyser optimized though to make this really work. And this is interesting. He's getting to, I mean, this is probably to wall off, but first off, that's not a tight wall off, I don't think. And second of all, I don't know. I feel like though, like he's anticipating Corsair, yet he's going Mutalisks. Alright, so we have this far off third base. I didn't notice it. As the minimap is very far away from me. I'm literally 10 feet away from my screen right now. But the screen is pretty big, to be fair. So he's getting speed. Still no. I mean, maybe double. Okay, well, I guess I was wrong. He's getting melee attack, which I can assume mass sling. But if you guys didn't notice, I haven't really been giving much talk to Executor, but Executor is going through really fast speed lots without any kind of Stargate, which is bizarre, as Stargate tech would absolutely just decimate this whole, probably just wreck Specter in general. Alright, so there goes down the Spire, but very delayed. Now, I mean, this damage, I mean, when the rest of these, this third base is done. I mean, I mean, Specter kind of showed us like kind of a scrappy game from himself. I mean, I'm not really sure if they won that. I guess he's trying to go mass link, but that base is it's just dead. He's getting melee attack, which is great, but again, that Spire really shouldn't be this delayed. And then he's even getting a Hydra Den next to it. And he doesn't have a second gas optimized yet. Let's just say a very scrappy game from Specter right here. I can't really put it any other way, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't know how to euphemize this any way I can, but scrappy game is probably the best word to describe this. Alright, so that's a lot of links coming out right now. If we go down to, Alright, so we have like 19 links to 11 zealots, so I mean, definitely not really a high link count to deal with these speed lots. Not to mention they have +1. I mean, links have +1, or about to have +1. But still not, again, where you want to be in position as Zerg. You want to get those Hydralisks out, you want to have Mutalisks out, but he's just starting to grab that second gas right now. Again, what can I say? These Zealots really probably could just kill off this place. I mean, I guess it's a knife Sim City. I'm not sure if it's quite tight. One thing for Executor though, you know, he doesn't have Stargate either. Fake Storm now, but no Hydralisks to speak of. And, you know, I mean, I don't think either of these players really have a shining moment, to be completely honest, in this game. I mean, we see Executor going Mass Zealot, which, I mean, yes, that's a valid strategy, but you get Corsair with that once you have your second base off. You know, what I talk about, I mean, if he's taking this idea from me to go this against Zerg, that's totally cool, but the thing, though, is to execute, like, a 3-gate Speed Zealot build, and you don't do that in PvP, but PvC, I guess it can work as well. You still get Stargate, because a 3-gate speed lot push is off of 1 base, not off of 2 base. So his like opening wasn't bad, but he just didn't really get the stuff he needed to do. He's getting Archon at least out. Now the few Mutalisks that are out on the field right now, which are how many? 5 apparently, are somehow containing the Protoss. And like I said, like a very scrappy game for both players here. And again, you have some of those games, and I cast some of those games. Alright, so interesting enough, he's gonna get Maelstrom, which you rarely see, and I feel like this is what Protosses need to start. I mean, again, I'll take this from Sale, and I believe this is just something like, again, I'm going to comment on StarCraft 2. You know what happened in StarCraft 2 is like very recently we've had a player Naniwa, okay, so he's this Swedish foreign Protoss, okay? He's done this revolutionary build now that may become new standard for StarCraft 2, but more specifically, it's this new thing right now, okay? It's also Protoss versus Zerg, and it's like a one gate cyber core into expand. Now, as of recently against Zerg, that's always been 4 Jet feeds. Now, what this build allows you to do is allows you to be a lot more aggressive. Your timings are much more quicker. Okay, but blah, 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 blah. Getting to the point here. It has changed. That Pro League game is going to change the metagame for at least a week, if not longer. And I'm wondering if something happened in Pro League that I just missed to start getting these Dark Archons out. Now, there might be enough stuff here from Zerg to clean this up, though. Archons are doing a lot of damage, though, but Melos do have a fairly good spread on them. Ling should be able to clean this up, but Archon are pretty good against Lings. No, it will not. Archon does go down, 1 Dragoon left against 2 Melisks. I mean, Zerg is up 600 minerals when they really shouldn't be. Executor is probably off of a lot of gates right now. He's off of, there's the Dark Archon. He's off of 6 gates, I believe, 5 gates maybe? 6 gates, yeah. He's getting some upgrades. He's getting Range Dragoon. Definitely a little bit later, but you tend to get that a little later in Protoss versus Zerg anyway. But yeah, back to my point here. I think Protoss is starting to realize that like Dark Archons are actually not really bad units, especially since you get Archives out anyway. It's like a small investment to get such a highly effective unit, especially when Defilers come out. I mean, feedback? Are you kidding me? It just kills off Defilers immediately because you consume, remember, ladies and gents. You're pretty good. I mean, again, they could also consume their energy back, but most of the time they're full on energy anyway. If you could feedback them in time, they're pretty much dead, or continue to feedback. So here's of the Maelstrom, but in the way I look at it, though, is Maelstrom's probably the poor man's way to deal with Melisks. It's definitely a heavier tech route to really counter, like he's like hard countering Melisks right now, when a lot of other players really wouldn't have this much difficulty with that. But that's a lot of Hydra actually right now. And there's really nothing from Executor right here. Nice Storm's going down, double Storm in the same area though, but Hydra actually going the other way. This third will have to be cancelled, or it will just be killed off. Dark Archon will die. He didn't Maelstrom. The problem though is he didn't Maelstrom, then Storm. Ooh, Dark Archon's gonna get away, hopefully speaking. But yeah, this third should be cancelled. Maybe, is he actually gonna let that finish? I don't agree with this, but if he's gonna keep that base alive, I guess he can. Yeah, he's gonna let it finish. He's gonna let it warp in. Somehow, he's actually not doing terrible. Well, I think that's also partially because Protoss has 2/2 upgrades. They haven't really been keeping on, which is he's been really on top of that. He's getting missile and carapace upgrades. Now, it's also very interesting, you know, because these Hydra could have had +1 from that engagement if he didn't decide to go melee before, you know, keep in mind. But I don't know, it's really hard to figure out what these players are doing right now. What are we looking at for a Hydra count right here? We're up to 15 Hydralisks compared to 5 Zealots, 3 Goons, 3 Eye Templar, 2 Dark Templar. You know, Dark Archon. So, I mean, ideally, these players would probably want to be at least Protoss. Zerg maybe at like 150 optimally, but ultimately speaking, these players, at the rate this game's been going at, because, you know, Protoss traded with Zerg, and then Zerg traded with Protoss, generally speaking, both players should probably be at least the 150 mark for supply. Maybe maxed out by now, because I mean we're solid 15 minutes in this game, 14 minutes in this game right now, in Brood War time. But we've seen very huge deviations from the normal build orders from both these players, which is fine. I mean, we saw a Maelstrom from this, and again, this might just become more of the standard from Protoss because Maelstrom's so powerful, and it just locks Hydra in place. But to get a lot of Maelstorms off, you do require a good amount of Archon, Dark Archon. I believe it's 75 energy, if I'm not mistaken, or 100. Again, Dark Archons are probably the least used Protoss unit ever. I love them, because I mind control shit, and it's great. But, like, I mind control SCVs or drones, but... And then it's when I actually end up getting the shuttle and the Dark Archon there, I actually end up getting it, but it's a base trade, and then I have a hatchery left or a command center, and then I'm pretty much just playing Terran at that point. So I'm not having the best of both worlds. I just pretty much swap races in game, and I lose anyway. But I quite honestly, I really feel like I'm saying that way too much, but I literally have no idea how Executor is actually still in this game. I swear to God that third base should have been killed off. He's seeing a fourth base over here. Zerg does spot that right here, but it looks like he's gonna go for some very, very strong timing right here. +3 may be done. I believe it might be. He may go in with +3. No, he's gonna go a little bit beforehand. Lurkers are morphing. Does he have orbs out? Does he even have he doesn't have okay, orbs are coming out right now. Now getting back over here. Nice Maelstorms happening over there. They look really, really big. A lot of stuff's happening on screen right now, and I don't think he has an obs out. Yeah, he just traded his entire army for, well, that's a lot of High Templar. And he can pretty much just decimate the whole Zerg army. Pretty much leaving just Ling Lurker, which ideally is like the unit composition when you go Ling Lurker Muta. Defiler gets Protoss, as it's very, very strong. But and then you have some Hydra in there, of course, but Hydra tend to get sucky as the game progresses. Because a lot of the time you get a really, really high Zealot counts to really deal with the Lurkers because of Dark Swarm and such. But Plague is actually more of an issue in this matchup than Dark Swarm, but still. Because Zealots are so strong as melee units. Terran doesn't really have a super strong melee unit that doesn't die really quickly to Lurkers, pretty much. That's pretty much why it happens. I mean, Plague, of course, happens in Terran versus Zerg, but point out there. So we're saying a macro game, but again, it's very, very scrappy. Nice upgrades though for Executor, I think. Yeah. And okay, so Hydralisks are like, yo, dude, what's up? Kind of just chilling over here. And I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. I mean, Zerg is definitely not where they want to be. I mean, I'm just looking at the supply counts. I mean, they're at 117. They were just at 99 earlier. If we look at that, these unit counts right here, you know, you can just see. I mean, it's mainly Lings that are making up that composition right there. 10 Hydras and 6 Lurkers. I mean, it's really not that strong of an army, especially without Dark Swarm or any kind of spellcaster support. Because keep in mind, we're looking at like at least 6 High Templar in that army. 12. He has a whole control group of just dedicated High Templar, which is absolutely crazy. Alright, so, I mean, and also these Sungans really aren't going to do too much. Lurkers are okay against Dragoons, but Dragoons are pretty much have the same range as Lurkers anyway, so they're really not taking that splash damage as it's like a one-on-one thing. And Lurkers are so powerful because of the splash damage, but since, you know, if you think of it like as like a semicircle, for example, or a full circle, you know, you have a Lurker in the dead center. Oh, 2v2 tour, cool. But I love how like I'm this iCup caster, yet they get all these outside casters like Babbo and all these other fun people. But anyway, what I'm trying to talk about is the Lurker right here. So think of a Lurker being the center point of a circle right now, and the circumference of that circle is anywhere in that circle up to the circle, like the out part of the circle, is the area where they can shoot their subterranean spines from, okay? And while I'm talking about that, we're having actually a big engagement happening over here. Ultras are out with 4-2 upgrades. And is doing a pretty good job cleaning up. I think he just like quadruples from some area. It looks like he killed up 10 drones somewhere. I probably did a storm drop or something or other. I don't know exactly where, but he's killed up 10 drones somewhere, so that's a big deal. in general. Probably transferring drones. But yeah, he won that engagement, so things are not looking too good for Specter right now. And continuing on with what I was talking about, for Dragoons can just sit out at the very edge of that, the perimeter of that circle of the lurker, and pretty much fire in there. So they actually just end up naturally spreading, arcing themselves out to attack them anyway. So because you can stop. If they're on attack command, they will stop moving if they can just start attacking right away. So they won't like micro in to get more. That's why you see like move command going like taking some fire before the arm starts shooting. Unless it's StarCraft 2 and actually micro is possible in that game, or much easier, let's say. As you could put 200 Marines in the control group. Okay, that's a lot. Well, 120 supply to 183. Protoss has nearly superior upgrades. I mean, these are 5-3 ultras. Darkstorm is going down though, but Archons are generally really good. He could even probably just mind control if he'd like to, but he can Maelstrom all he'd like to. I mean, he probably has enough High Templar. If he still has the 12 that I'm reckoning he probably does, 14 High Templar. I'm literally thinking what Executor could literally do in this scenario right now is literally like really just take all those High Templar, be smart about them as well. Just Maelstrom, like get 3 Dark Archon and just Maelstrom Maelstrom the Ultralisks, and then just storm them to death. It may take like 3 or 4 storms probably take out Ultralisks, but they go right through the shields and things, and then Ultralisks do crappy damage, and then all you have to do is Ling Hydra, Lurker, Defiler, and you're pretty much done. And that's why everyone that's why I'm surprised though why after like the 14 years, just generally speaking, why it's not meta to go this spellcaster right here, because it's so versatile what it can do with its Storm Brethren. I mean, you can Maelstrom everything, you can storm it because it locks in place, and yes, these are very, Dark Archons are really expensive to get. And I'm not saying mass them, but in late game you could probably at least get up to 3 of them. And then just start Maelstorming an entire army. But that's actually kind of huge what just happened. Specter somehow made a counter push onto Executor right here, and actually ended up coming up on top. Which, I mean, of me getting really sidetracked in this entire game right now, it's bizarre how this game's actually gotten to this point. Like I said, very scrappy game because now the player's really playing up to their fullest potential, I believe. I mean, like I said, Clan League could be, the worst players, the best players, and, these may not be the best players on the world, but they have some skill, and I don't think they're showing their full potential here, which is why I'm saying it's a scrappy game. This base looks like it's going to be in trouble, though. A lot of cannons, but Dark Swarm takes care of that with no problem, so I'm going to let you enjoy this scenery right here, but there are Reavers right here. But they are in the back, though, which they are doing a good amount of DPS, though. He's going to lift up 1, but he did lose 1 Reaver in general. We'll be reinforcing that as back up to 152 supply. And I'm just trying to enjoy my Coke while this is all going down. Look how big. I think he was up to 69 probes. Jesus. Alright, let's read this. Let's read these army tabs here. 19 Lings, 2 Lurkers, 4 Ultras. Compared to 8 Zealots, 6 Dragoons, 6 High Templar, 3 Archon, 1 Dark Archon, 3 Reavers, 2 Shuttles, 3 Obs, and 8 Scarabs, which doesn't matter. 8 Scarabs doesn't matter. Apparently another 10 drones got killed off. And we have another engagement happening over here. I mean, generally speaking, you do not have this versatile army of every single unit you could possibly get except for anything. I think he has everything but Stargate units. And he still has a shuttle though. He's like everything in the tech path. And I'm even wondering if he even got Reaver upgrades. I bet he did. If I could find the support bay. Support bay, where are you? I know you have a support bay somewhere. Where is your sport? Oh, there it is. Well, he didn't get the Oh yeah, he got Reaver damage. Yeah, he got Reaver damage. He got the 125 upgrade. So you do an extra 25 damage per Scarab. The one upgrade he didn't get though was the worthless increased capacity of Scarabs within the Reavers, but still. Yeah, they're doing 125. I forgot you could just like actually just scroll over the Scarab and just look at that. Well, you know, 199 supply to 115. Again, the numbers should, I mean, just the Maelstrom looks so epic on Ultralisk in my opinion though. This is just like like this is how Brood War's awesome of like how much stuff is on screen right now. And it looks like Specter got the not good end of the engagement right there. Let's just put it that way. You know, I mean, what can I say? Again, I feel like this game's gone really one-sided, and well, there's a GG by Specter right there. Sorry, a little off-topic this game, but you know, great game nevertheless, though. No, and let me alt-tab out. Oopsie, that's not right. Okay, so that game was fun. Now let's talk about the game. Again, the openings of both players, I liked Executor's opening a little bit more. I mean, the premise behind the build was not bad. You know, I mean, he went early charge, but you still need to incorporate a Stargate. So I mean, like I said, it was a scrappy game from both players because a lot of things could have been improved on. And I think, you know, just going over that game is actually, you know, pretty important. And in regards to, you know, people trying to learn Brood War a little bit better here. I think just generally speaking, like, both those players really need to work on the fundamentals of what they're going in that matchup. You know, for one, you should get a Stargate if you're playing Standard. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the only way to play, but generally speaking, it's proven to be good to play that style, the Standard style right now, current meta against Zerg. It works. It worked well. And it's been like buffered out throughout 12 years of balance. But if you want to play your own independent style, again, I'm not going to get mad at you. But if you want to work on that, I just watch some more VODs. Maybe not mine, but again, just like tournaments that are out there. You know, even the Chinese OSL, that's probably higher league stuff than we're casting a clan league. But in general, I recommend, you know, just working out those build orders. There's a lot you could have improved on. Again, I mean, like, if you want to do the variation of 3-gate Zealot push with speed and, you know, maybe, you know, not get your Robo out as fast or something, you know, risk, you know, cutting off some certain tech to hit a push. I mean, that might be considered all in, but does it work? I think it did. I think I'm trying to actually remember, but I can't remember if you sniped off that third base or not, the Executor. I really can't remember, but like if you snipe off that third hatch, like that's great. And then you have Corsair roaming the base. And again, if you got that Stargate up, you could have forced a GG well before this game ended. You know, like I say, he had Evo chambers, but you know, A, it takes a while to get up creep colonies. 2, it takes a while to get the spore colonies up. And quite frankly, it would take him a long time, and you could have done a lot of damage right there. You could have supply blocked, you could have got a nice scout, you could have seen what the Spire timing was, you could see it was delayed, and then ultimately, probably inevitably, you could have just pushed through and just done a crap ton of damage. Otherwise, you know, continue to build stuff. I think what happened was, with the Executor at least, with that third base almost getting down, which I was actually surprised it didn't get killed off. But I think what, in that engagement, though, what should have happened, I think the Zerg should just target fire that Nexus down. It would have been much more important to kill that third base off. Or force cancel. But anyway, getting back to the point here. That engagement, I feel like that was just over-teching, because I think what you did was you had like this fundamental idea of like, I want to pressure that third base. All right, that's fantastic. I love that. I love pressuring that third base, because I think Zerg's getting a little too greedy right now. But still, you know, pressure that. That's great, awesome. You have this idea. That's great. You didn't get your Stargate. but that's okay. And then what happened was you kind of like, well, oh shit, I don't have my tech. So you kind of like, you have all these gateways, but I feel like you weren't producing out of them optimally. And what forced that your army size was much more dwindled when you were teching so hard, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, you had really good tech in the late game. I mean, the other thing is I think you need to find a balance between upgrades and units. And that's something I also need to learn as a caster. You know, when do you cut off the upgrades? When you're doing a push, because you know you don't want to stop producing units. You know, upgrades are expensive to produce. They take a while to build up that money. If you're off like 2 base and you're producing out of 8 gates, you want to produce out of those 8 gates for a timing push. You know, maybe starting +2 in the middle of that engagement isn't the most necessary thing to do, instead of actually just continuing pressuring. But that's your call as the player. That's just smart decision making in game. But that's pretty much. I think I've just rambled this video out of depth. I think it's probably at least like 35-minute video, if not longer. I could be completely wrong though. All right, but anyway, Executer 1, 2-0. Well, I should say not surprising, because I actually don't know these players, but it was a good game. It was a solid game. I give it a thumbs up. A scrappy game, but interesting to watch, because I feel like the scrappy games are kind of more fun to watch, because you see these kind of really bizarre, really awesomely weird things that you're never going to see in a standard game, like every single tech path open for the Protoss. And I think Zerg played a little, and you know, for Zerg, because I've been, you know, for Specter, I mean, I honestly say I've been paying more attention to Executor, but him, again, I wasn't spending as much time on, but generally speaking, I think you want to get your defilage up faster. I don't think you want to get +1 melee. Your opening was really off, from what you were going. Like, you had, like, melee upgrade, which is, like, if you want to go melee upgrade, then, you know, that indicates one of two things. If you are going to optimize that upgrade. One, you're going to go for quick highs and get quick ultras, which I have no idea if it's going to be a valid strategy in Protoss versus Zerg. I've never seen it. Or number two, you're going a very Ling-heavy style, which, again, that's fine. But you got to produce those Lings. You can't just be like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to go do that now. You have to, like, if you're going to commit to +1 melee, commit to +1 melee with Zerglings. Don't, or, you know, maybe you click the wrong upgrade. Who knows? But if you're going to get melee units, if you're going to commit to melee upgrades. Commit to missile. If you're going to get a missile upgrade, commit to missile upgrades. You know, Hydra, pretty much the only thing I can really say. Or, you know, or Mutalisk. And your build order was going, the best thing I could tell you, that build, what you're maybe you're trying to extract from that, what I could extract, was 3 HPless. But that hatchery and layer was very off. One thing you could work on is that second base extractor timing. You really didn't get that. You didn't have the gas income to really supplement 3 hatcheries of meaningless anyway. And I think partially that was because you took a third base. I didn't quite realize that. But I don't feel like you were going 3 base into 5 hatch Hydra either. But again, it was really hard to determine what the hell was going on in this game. But fun anyway, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you like the new camera angle as I'm full in frame. I can fully extend my arms, and pretty much I could be in full frame. Cool. And we'll go on to our next series, guys. So pretty much what we see right here is, let me see here. No, that's the wrong button. We see Insanity Without Limits up 1-0 so far. So not bad. So we're gonna go on to our next series. If I could just get to my personal me. Oh, that's why. I see why. Pressing the right button, my mouse, my Razer Nog. I got all these buttons on the side right here. Fantastic, even though you can't really see them. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Fitz signing out here. I think I've talked on for a little too long now, and we'll go on to the next series. Peace, guys.